in? No. I think we're okay.
That one gal came in. Didn't she just come in?
Who's that? I call to order the Florence City Council meeting for Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Van Houten.
Here.
Counselor Stiefel.
Here.
Counselor Mergelman.
Here.
Counselor Gardner.
Here.
Counselor Stone.
Here.
Counselor McKinnon.
Here.
Mayor Wolf.
Here. Item 3, public comments. Joan Elliott, please remind you to say your name, address, speak loudly into the mic.
Joan Elliott, 404 Wilson Avenue, Florence, 81226. What I have to say is very short. I want to thank you at the last council meeting that to give us encouragement to get music in the park again. And thank you for helping us with the fees for the park. We will have in June, we'll have June 1 and 7, and each in June we'll have a band and at the park, at Pioneer Park. And thank you very much for your support.
Okay, you're welcome. Item 4, consent agenda. Considering approving the minutes, expenditures, a temporary use permit for the Florence Chamber of Commerce and Merchants for Juntique and Car Show, authorizing the police chief to enter an agreement for towing, and awarding a contract for some chip seal project. At this time, does any council member wish to pull any of those items?
I'd like to pull item D and item E.
Would anybody like to pull any of the other items? Could we have a motion to approve consent agenda items A, B, and C?
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda A, B, and C.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Item D, consider authorizing the Chief of Police to enter to a contract agreement for towing services with Penrose Tractor and Towing LLC. Chief Humphrey.
Good afternoon. I'd like to enter agreement with Penrose Towing because I want to get out of the car business. We're done with the car business with towing and all that, and then, so I would like to enter a contract with Penrose.
Okay, questions?
My question was, I think the concept's great. I read the whole thing and there was not a dollar mentioned.
No,
So I came
so
back in and talked to it and I said, how's this funded?
so it really helps, and that's one of the main one that really helps out, because if we have storage or if we need to like have a long-term storage for a vehicle in a building, we don't have that access. With the towing company, with Penrose, we do. And with the no fees, what ends up happening is if we towed the vehicle when we had the tow truck and doing all that, we'd have to have a fee and all that. Versus Penrose, they take the vehicle and they do everything. They deal with the amount, the owner, the vehicle owner, storage, everything. All of our hands are wiped of it, that's why.
So we don't handle any money. We just refer them to Penrose.
Well, like if we have a crash, we will request Penrose. Now, if Penrose is not available, then we'll do next rotational tow. But Penrose will handle everything,
They'll be the-
especially when it goes over 30 days or however long it is. If the owner doesn't come pick it up, we have to go through paperwork. We have to go through all that. Penrose will take care of all that. Now, as far as expense goes, there might be expense, like if they bring out the heavy wrecker, the big old semi truck. I mean, obviously we have to pay there, but anything else, normal size, we will not have to pay. And I think that's great because we got to get out of the car business. Yes.
Can you give me some examples of cars that you call to get towed?
Oh, well, like, man, like car accidents. If an officer has like a DUI or anything like that, and both vehicles are disabled and they can't be moved, then we call the tow truck company and they come out and move it. So
Okay, how about abandoned cars in?
they will do all
In-
that, abandoned cars, everything. I'm
Even-
trying to get out of the car business.
Okay,
completely.
but what if it's
Cars.
in the library's parking lot and somebody has abandoned it there? Can you get that towed for them, or is that different?
Oh, well, an officer will respond, and then we'll come out there, and then if it's deemed where it needs to be towed, then, not if it's on, like it's on private property, it really depends. But if the officer comes on scene and determines that, we can call a tow truck, and they'll
Okay.
come and get it, and no charge.
One last question for you, Chief. So if we have a vehicle that's impounded incident to arrest, is that going to go to our lot still, or is Penrose Towing going to manage
gonna
the
go to Penrose.
securement of that vehicle?
Yep, it's gonna go to Penrose.
So I'm James. I'm the representative. I'm the tow manager for Penrose Tractor and Towing LLC. As far as heavy goes, I want to just clarify something. There will be no charges to Florence City at all. You guys will not pay me a dime. I collect all mine from the insurance agents or the car. If the car is deemed abandoned after 30 to 60 days, we follow PUC guidelines and state law. Once we follow that, then we get the vehicle and we're made whole. So if a vehicle is not picked up for 60 days, we'll be made whole first, and then if there's a lien on the vehicle, they'll be picking it up. As far as anything on private property, there's been talks about trying to get into that. It's a very difficult process. There's got to be a lot of signage and everything else, and it's not just something that we can go and do at a blink of an eye. It's a lot harder for us to do that. I am in talks with PUC trying to make it easier, but also it's a lot of signage. We put signs everywhere in order to do private property towing. As far as any of the abandons go and all of that, following PUC guidelines, we have to do it in a certain way. If they call us, we drop everything we're doing and we come and respond. We take the car away, and that's the end of it. We handle everything from there.
Sorry, I missed your name.
I'm James.
Sorry, James. I just wanted to add, you guys may know this, there are a lot of regulations about what tow companies can and can't do. So at the very least, they're required to follow certain processes. And I just had a question.
Yeah.
Do you do this with, or similar arrangements with anyone else, or is this your first venture?
No, this is not my first. I work with Custer County State Patrol. I work with Canyon City, Fremont County, Salida City. My heavy goes all the way up to the divide and then back down. We have contracts with hundreds of people with different private companies. He's absolutely right. Our regulations are completely indifferent. Matter of fact, how this came about was we've towed in the past for you guys, and we had vehicles that are left in our impound lot for the last 3 years, and it's no one's fault. I took over management over a year ago, and I put on a class for all law enforcement agencies in Fremont County, Custer County, Salida, and I'm working on another class that'll go further, working with Bureau of Land Management, the Forest Service, and basically it teaches them how to do the abandoned vehicle process. And then it also taught me a lot more regulations that I had to follow, so we corrected ours. I put it on for other tow companies, so if there's any questions for that, you guys are more welcome to ask.
And I want to get out of the car business.
Okay. All right, thank you. I got one more question for the chief, just for the chief.
Okay.
Do we have a tow truck?
Yes, we do.
What are we gonna do with our tow truck?
I would like to get rid of it or sell the tow truck.
Okay, well,
Yes, because I am
if you're getting out
want
of
to get out of the car business.
yeah, if you're getting out of the car business, yeah, then maybe we could sell that and
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Yes, we will be selling the tow truck.
Yes.
One last thing is, it is very labor intensive to work the impound yard for officers and for the admin staff. Amanda, Pam, it's very labor intensive, so this will free up hours for them to do other things. So this is a win-win on different levels.
Yeah, and James mainstreamed it when they had a training. Amanda Jones is here. She's in the audience here, and she went to the training and learned a lot. So it'd be all on the computer and paperwork. I mean, it's just mainstream. It's correct.
all right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call, please. No. Oh, we gotta make a motion first, yeah.
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to authorize the chief of police to enter into a contract agreement with towing services with Penrose Tractor and Towing LLC as presented.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
I think it's consensus. It's a consent agenda item.
Okay.
Happy to do roll call if you
Okay,
want.
no problem. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. All right, next one is the chip seal and fog coat project.
I pulled that, a question I had on that was, the bid came in a third over what we had originally asked for. We'd sent out a bid, hoping for one about 200,000, came back 298,000. I thought that was too big, that we needed to go back and reconsider that. And we feel comfortable, and we had planned ahead with the 200,000.
Right, yeah.
I would like to suggest we go back, and this is for street improvements,
Yes.
that we peel back some of the streets maybe on a priority and get it down to 200,000 and proceed with it.
Yeah, Lori and I had to discuss it already to exclude Victory Lane and Needham Road. That'll take another 140,000 off of there for you to get it down below your $200,000 mark. Victory Lane and Needham are kind of rural. They're out there, but we can really use the blade to accommodate and take care of those roads out there. It's a so much longer stretch than it is here in town. So the rest of them will get you probably right around 160,000 below what you needed. So we had already talked about that and stuff. So that's what we had thought about, right?
Yes.
To exclude Victory Lane and Needham out there. The rest of them are here in town. They'll go ahead and take care of those.
Yep.
So if we do that, we'll have to rebid the project?
No, we left it open.
Yes, we will
Yes.
rebid.
Okay.
We will rebid without those two.
Okay.
Just so we can come back and give anybody an opportunity.
My own.
For that, no, that's okay.
My bad.
That's okay, yeah. And, stay under. We should have originally done it without the bigger roads. We really didn't think it was going to be that much.
Exactly, yeah.
So next time we will take that. I think we got so excited to get these gravel roads done that we all or nothing, and we did learn we will not do that again. But we will we will rebid this tomorrow based on what you guys decide. But we definitely would recommend rebidding. It stays within our gravel project that we want, and then we can go in and go for the other street pavement within the budget that we said. And these two roads that are left with the gravel grader being fixed, they should be able to handle that, and we maybe do that down the road as more houses get in these areas.
Yeah, and we added a lot of material to Victory Lane and Needham this last few years in there. They're fine. It just, we need to clean up what's here. Lori's absolutely right. Yep,
All right, thanks, Sam.
you bet.
Any other questions, all?
Well, the only thing maybe some people out there understand what we're talking about. We're gonna chip seal some of these old gravel roads in town.
Yes,
So then they won't be quite paved, but they'll definitely be improved over gravel roads.
yes, yep. We talked to the contractor and everything. We had a mandatory pre-bid meeting before this. And I recommended 9/16. When we talked to him, he says the base course would be a 1/2 inch and 3/8. And Ashley helped me get out the addendum to the bid before the bid come back in. And a fog coat and all of that. That's what they do. I'm used to 9/16. I guess that's old school. Now they do.
Oh, damn.
They do a bottom course of 1/2 inch, and a top course of 3/8, and a fog coat over the top of them. So yes, it'll be a lot better than the road base and dirt we have now.
Good.
How many bids actually came in?
Just the one. And that fog coat is something really neat, and it will make it last longer.
Yeah,
So
it's-
it will really add some, because they're not really a lot of traveled roads.
Right.
So, but this fog coat, when we did the addendum, was pretty cool, and we just learned about it. So that will add a lot to the longevity of these roads,
Yep.
and maybe by then it would be something that we can actually pave.
Right. Yep. It's just another seal, like Lori says, another protection on top of it. And for aesthetic, it turns it black, obviously. But it also seals up those two layers going on top. So, they call it fall coat. I mean, you guys seen North Maple, Santa Fe, and we had those chip sealed a few years back. If we would have left it in just plain rock, the 3/8 stuff, it'd look almost like a dirt road, if you will. So it serves the purpose to seal the top, and for aesthetics, it's black, So, but more importantly, it's to seal all three coats together.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Do we have a motion to approve item E? Oh, need a motion?
I think it needs to be tabled until the new
Yep.
bid.
No,
I think it needs to
no.
be tabled.
I have a motion.
Well, we have
Yeah.
there's an option 2 in here.
Yeah, I move to direct the city manager to rebid the 916 ship seal and fog coat project with the intent of remaining within the budgeted amount.
We can do.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Motion passes.
We get her done tomorrow.
Next, council reports. Gail?
I just want to tell these two people responsible that I like the hearts at Main Street. That just kind of put a smile on my face when I saw the heart. So I just want to say,
Supposed to be an aha moment.
I just want to say thank you.
James, anything?
No report.
Okay. Tammy?
I attended the Florence Chamber meeting, the Merchants meeting, and the Arts Council. And I have to say, they're just working on positive collaborations together and just for the good of the city.
All right, thank you. Matt?
No report.
Brenda?
I'm going to add to Gail, I like the hearts on Main Street, but I'd like to see shamrocks in March.
Riddle?
I went to the county planning workshop. I went to the taco talk with the chief. I went to the mayor's roundtable, and I did attend the art council too. It's fun to be on the crew with Sam and his help and Tammy's hearts. We had a lot of fun putting them up.
All right, very good. I attended the Fremont County Tourism Council meeting for the first time. And I don't have much to report yet because I'm still getting it figured out, how that whole thing works. But it was interesting. I'm going to go to one more and then see how things fit in for the city and where we might go from there. I'd like to thank Brandon. Had a bunch of questions on water, invited me out to the water plant, and was able to show me some things. And that's what I really like about the staff here at the city. You go through Lori, she'll get you in contact with the right people. Questions are always asked, are always answered, and really appreciate that. The other thing we had was the mayor's roundtable. And the only thing I really want to report on that is the discussion that we had surrounding, it was originally Senate Bill 23-116 called the Colorado Wildfire Resiliency Code. And we had a workshop on that a while back. And if you read it, it says all communities are required to adopt it in 2026. And I've been talking to the county, and County Commissioner Bell told me that their attorney says, yeah, we need to adopt it. But they haven't yet because they got lots of questions. I know some of the smaller entities had lots and lots of questions. I've come up with a whole bunch myself. I think it's something that we need to, discuss or have some questions because, it will raise the cost of building pretty substantially. And, what they have designated as a class 1 and a class 2, you look at the map and you go, why is this a class 2? Why did it make it a moderate to high area for that wildfires? And so I think we need to take a step back and take a look at it. I've got questions like, do these requirements override our 2006 building codes? We've got some developments going on in places where developers might come in and say, all right, I want to do this lot. And if we've approved this, do they have to follow these new codes? And is it going to be 10% more for this house? Or is it going to be, as the builders tell me, 20% more for this house? I talked to the folks who run the UACOG and the self-help housing that we just completed. They had those 6 up there. And they said, south of town, it's class 1, but they've already estimated how much more those houses will cost with these new regulations in there. And so it's something that we just need to maybe discuss a little bit more. I know I see Dan over there shaking his head that we're required to, you know, to adopt in 2026 or 2026, but there's a lot of questions that go along with it. So I know I'm going to be in asking questions of the building department, and before I know I can make any type of decision. So, all right, that's it for me. City manager.
Council, I'd like to invite Brandon up. There has been a lot of discussion and a lot of reporting in the news about PFAS. So I thought let's have Brandon come in and do a little presentation on that, kind of to show us and tell us what that is. So I thought this would be good. So Brandon?
Good evening, Council. So this was actually perfect timing when Lori talked to me about doing some kind of PFAS talk or presentation to you guys, because I believe it was the week before she had talked to me. We had gotten the results of our last round of samples that we had to take to complete our requirements of the EPA under the UCMR 5, which stands for Unregulated Contaminants Monitoring. This is the 5th go-around of the UCMR, and this has everything to do with PFAS. PFAS are per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances that they have found in a wide variety of things, from foods to waterproof clothing, fireproof clothing, fire retardants. I mean, it's everywhere. It's found all across the world, in the air, in fish, in animals, in dirt, and in our water as well. Excuse me, let me back up. Not our water. I will get to that. But in some cases, in drinking water supplies. So I came up with a little bit of a fact sheet / report for you guys that discusses all this. I don't want to just read it, but I'm going to hit some topics here. Most of this information I got straight from the EPA's website, and there is a plethora of additional information on the EPA's website. If you just look up EPA UCMR 5, it'll take you directly there, and there is an unbelievable amount of information on PFAS. So, per the EPA's UCMR 5 requirements, we had to sample for an entire year, one sample set per quarter, and it started in the first quarter of 2025. We had to sample for 30 chemicals, 29 per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, which is PFAS, and one additional, which is lithium. The results, frankly, came back pretty good. The last 4 pages are the results of our sampling from 2025. If you pay attention to each phase, each quarter is on one page. The 4th column is titled the sampling event. So on the first page is SE4, that's sampling event 4. That would be the 4th quarter of 2025. So they're kind of in reverse order, but the very last page is SE1, sampling event 1, done in March. As you can see, with every single sample set in all 4 quarters, we came back below the minimum reporting level on all PFAS substances. The minimum reporting level, in layman's terms, is essentially the lowest that the majority of laboratories, certified laboratories in the U.S., can detect. So they can only detect so low, so many parts per billion or parts per trillion. And so they took an average of the lowest the average lab out there can test at, and that's where they set the bar for the MRL, minimum reporting level. All of ours are below that, except for the last round of testing. We did hit on lithium, which is not a PFAS, it is lithium. The MRL for lithium is 9 parts per billion, and we had 10 parts per billion. So still quite low. And I just want you guys to keep in mind, I'm not trying to fearmonger or anything. I want to ease minds. This unregulated contaminant monitoring is simply stuff that they're concerned will have health risks or could have health risks with prolonged exposure at what levels. So they're doing this testing and doing more research and studies to try and figure out what levels to set. Because right now, all of this stuff is unregulated as far as what we can have in our drinking water. We test for a ridiculous amount of substances in our water, from inorganics to volatile organics to synthetic organics and compounds, synthetic compounds. We test for it all, minerals, and there's MCLs, maximum contaminant levels, for everything we have to test for. Those maximum contaminant levels, if we're below that, no danger. You know, everything in moderation, right? So when we hit those MCLs, when something becomes regulated, they stick an MCL number to it, a maximum contaminant level. And anything over that, exposure at those levels over a long period of time can have adverse health effects. Not necessarily will, but can. So none of those MCLs have been set for any of the PFAS right now and lithium. But I am happy and very proud to say that our sample results for the entire year last year came back great. There's a lot of communities that are scrambling to figure out how to fully remove PFAS from their water because they've popped hot for samples that they've taken. And I'm happy to say we haven't. So any questions? Sorry, that might have been long and confusing.
Thank you for all that information, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Well, if there is other questions, I know that was a lot of information real quick. Please feel free and reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon. Okay. Something else I want to share with you that kind of came in late is we were invited to be with the regional managers meeting. So these are all the managers from Southern Colorado and the regional area. We were invited to become a part of that. And with that, Cortland's extremely excited. I offered for us to host the first one of the year for the first quarter because I want to reintroduce Florence and reintroduce the team and all of us on all the wonderful things we're doing to bring them all down. And what's important is these are from all the cities, big, small, and in between. And these are great resources for us and a great group of managers from new to long-term that can help us and grow. So I was very excited when we were asked to be a part of this. So we will have that on March 26th. So when you see the parking lot full, that's all of them here. And I'm super excited to show Florence off. So I wanted to tell y'all that. Couple things we did get the sidewalk assessment back from Three Rocks. We're looking at it this week with them, so you should see it. I'm hoping next meeting if everything goes and we don't have to send it back for any errors. But we're almost done with that, so we can start working on that sidewalk project. I'm very excited about that. It's very, very thick, so we have a lot of sidewalks to look at. But now we'll have them and we'll know exactly where they are. So that is almost ready for y'all. Couple things I do want to talk about. You did get a copy of the master plan dashboard. I apologize, it didn't print off very good. I'll email you guys a copy of that so you can have that and a little better copy. That way we can look and see where we're going. I used that appendix to do it, so I'll get you a better copy of that. So I attended a lot of meetings in the last 45 days. And one thing that did come up in almost every single meeting, even when we're talking about crime, even when we're talking anything, code enforcement is a huge topic, a huge opportunity for our citizens. It's something I could say everybody has an opinion, has a topic, has a concern, and I see that as everybody just wants Florence to be the best it can be and be proud of our town. So with that, I was doing a lot of thinking on what we could do, and I think there's a couple things we need to look at. So I wanted to have maybe a short discussion and share some things with you guys. First, let me get my stuff. We have one code enforcement officer, and she works anywhere from 28 to 33 cases. And when I say cases, I mean addresses. I call them cases. Right now, since the 12th, she's had 28 cases that she is actively working on in some level of code. Our code is very forgiving, and it hasn't really been looked at for a while. So my question is, would you like us to relook at that? Is there anything you'd like to look at? Would you like to have a workshop on it? The problem is there's a lot of time that it gives. And there's a lot of steps to it. It's very administrative heavy. So you have one person going out, taking the complaints and driving and looking, and then you have all the administrative side of it. And we have one person doing that. I am looking at how much that labor costs to see about adding additional staff. So that is more to come on that. Because I do think when you spend most of your time doing paperwork, you're not able to go and really get boots on the ground. That's one aspect of it. The other is it more about compliance? Is it more about just fixing it? Is it more about fines and fees? Where does it go? So that is another question. And the third, as I was looking at other cities, I do a lot of that. I look at a lot of what some of these bigger cities are doing or different cities to see, do they have some of the same issues that we have? So I did find in several cities, different sizes, that they do how we do our outside agency funding. They do citizens. They help the citizens. Now, not all of them, but one in particular that I thought was very interesting and worth a conversation was I truly believe there are some people that really want to fix things, but maybe they can't. You have a lot of senior citizens, disabled, so forth, that may not be able to do that. So one town I found does this program called City Cuts, where they help underdeveloped citizens, maybe not underdeveloped, underrepresented citizens, senior citizens, veterans, disabled. They help them with code enforcement, basically weeds, lawn care, and they have a budgeted line item where they contract a lawn service to help them. It's a very specific program for a very specific reason. And it helps the dynamics of the city, plus it helps the citizens. It's just a different aspect of funding. So, when I saw that, I thought, it's definitely worth talking about. In one of my meetings, I had one person come up to me and say, Lori, what are you doing to help today? What is the thing you're doing that can help citizens today? Well, I could talk about code enforcement. I can talk about all these things, but what are we doing today? And I really do think that this program could help citizens today. Thoughts? Is it something you would be interested in? Is it something to look at a different budget year? Do you want to look at code enforcement any different, or do you just want us to keep going forward? Because I will tell you, we are working the cases. It is happening, and I do see improvement. But it is on the mind of almost every citizen I've had a conversation with in every meeting. So I thought it would be a good discussion.
My 2 cents is, yes, I believe that we need to look at those codes. I believe they do have too much time. That is the complaints that I get from people, is why can't you do something? You know, you're asking them to cut your weeds, you're sending them for code enforcement, and the weeds are growing. Well, here comes fall. Those weeds are still growing. I've seen that in several places. And why? And to use an old-fashioned term, and all of a sudden it came to me, and I've heard you use it, PIP, pride in property. And there's a lot of individuals that don't have pride in property. And to me, it's not that much time. So I would be willing to see it shortened, tightened, because I think there's too much time. I think there's too much leeway. Cut it. Not 2 weeks later, cut it. Not 2 weeks later, oh, let's go see the judge. Oh, I don't show up. Okay.
I think let's set a workshop for it, where we can have a better discussion. I don't think we're going to decide on anything tonight.
Nope,
So definitely let's go down the trail of a work.
Okay, good, because I just wanted to open the conversation since it was in every meeting I went to. Okay.
And I'm in agreement. I'd like to see a workshop on that.
Yeah. And maybe for some information going into the workshop, if you could put together like just 1 page, primer on code enforcement. Here are the steps. Just, like 1 page. Here are the steps. Here's where the hang-ups have been. Here's where, we get stuck, or here's where most of the problems are. Something like that, so we can just, focus on that in the, if we have a workshop. And, and the other thing I think we try to, as much as possible, people have to have some skin in the game. And, we can help out where we can, but we also need, people need to help out there too. But I also think there's some organizations out there might be able to help. I know you talked to Dr. Wilson, I've talked to Dr. Wilson. Community service from kids. I know you get in some liability issues and all of that, but I think there's a way to maybe get school districts, some faith-based organizations that might be able to put together, groups that if there is somebody that truly just flat can't do the work, that we give them a call, and they've got a lawn mowing crew, and they go out there and hit it. You get half a dozen people out there, with a lawnmower and some rakes and a couple bags, and you can knock it out and do it that way. So I'd like to see us maybe try to pursue that.
More volunteers.
Yeah, volunteers and again, I know we have to be careful through the
Okay.
way you do it, and maybe it's not under the umbrella of the city, but it's underneath the umbrella. I'm thinking of how some of the faith-based organizations do that, and that maybe have
It'd be more
a way to
along the
help.
lines of the organization saying, here, contact these people for this service.
And a lot of cities use like a senior advisory, or 311 or, that. So maybe that's something we could look into too.
And when do you have the spring, week cleanup dates? Do you have?
I'm glad you asked that. So it's the third week of April. With that, I would like to add, I do think this will help, and we do have some budget lines. We have a code enforcement line. I would like to add a second cleanup, do one in spring and one in fall. I think that could make a big impact. You'll have one, I think we said April and September, Sam, when we were brainstorming. City staff could take care of it. Then, because what we're seeing is people are putting things out and just saying, oh, it's gonna sit here until next one, and sometimes next one may be 8 months. So we would like to do a spring and a fall cleanup. Citizens really like that, and it really does make an impact quickly, and I think we could do that. All right. Council retreat. I will be asking you all about some days. We did reach out to SGR. They had offered within their contract a free one. The only thing we have to pay is travel. So Cortland has been working on that. We just need to tie down some dates, and we're going to do a retreat, the council retreat with the SGR led. So we'll also include CIRSA for some training on that. So be on the lookout for that. We're ready to schedule that. So I'm super excited about that one. And let's see. Cortland, were you ready? So in Taco Time, I wanted to show you some of you guys this that didn't get to see, and you will start seeing a report from this. This is Citizen Contact. This is on our website. This shows the contact for the police officers, whatever it is. So if you were not in at Taco Time, if you look at your screen, this is on the website. Any citizen at any time can look and see what's going on in the city based on police. So when it comes up, you can pick what you're looking for. You can send alerts to yourself if you're concerned. I want to know in my neighborhood if burglaries are coming on. It will send you the alerts. This is a really cool feature that lets the citizen dictate what they want to look for. And it's anything, is it not coming up? It's anything from actual arrests or just incidents. It's very cool. It also gives us crime statistics, and here it is. That is super cool. So this comes straight from FreeCom. FreeCom, you know, is our dispatch. Our dispatch is regional, so it's Fremont County, Florence, Canyon City, and Custer County. So you can dial into your neighborhood. You can go a bigger section. You can click on incidents. It'll tell you where the burglary is. There are only a few things that are not on here because they're victim-based protected. So you could probably think of what that kind of thing is. So cool. Yeah. Yep. So if you're concerned about burglaries in your area or menacing, you can set the time and it will show you what's going on in your neighborhood. Now, if you want arrests information of who was, you just go to Crime Watch. Crime Watch on Fremont County will show you all that and the mugshot. So you can set up as many as you want. It's right on the website. So if you have email, if you have anything on the internet, you have this. Isn't that cool? And that's just part of the Tyler system. So we're just tipping into what we've learned about this. So I'm hoping there's a lot more. Now, when you go to the side, Cortland made the screen big, you can do crime statistics where it says data. And that's where me and Sean will go in and look at, hey, what are the patrol times? Hey, do we need to change anything? That'll give us some data. Is there anything that you all would like to see included in a council report? Is there any report you would like to see that we could include? Isn't that neat? It kind of tells you everything. I would encourage y'all just to go through it. Yeah. Look at it, and if you decide there's something you'd like to see or a report on or that, maybe we'll do something quarterly then, just to kind of give you a recap. But that is very cool. Yeah. Can we add that on there? Get with dispatch. Speed record for East Main. And the best part, there's no labor with that. So, and people can get what they want. It's not just what I think that everybody wants. So that's pretty neat. All right, I think that is all I have, unless you guys have questions about the recap. There's a lot going on in the last couple weeks. And I am happy to say, though, I'm scheduling interviews for finance manager. We got 9 applications.
Okay.
So happy.
Good. I just want to say thank you to you and the distribution and everybody who helped when we had those water main breaks and got right on top of things. It was good and it was, we used that model from those last meeting, wasn't it, where we missed it? We used that the 2 days later for the hit on 5th and McCandless.
Yeah.
But I will say this, I think whatever was said to the group or to whomever was in charge, that it changed some attitudes and they seem to be taking a little more pride in their work, and I don't feel like they're a bull in a china shop anymore. I think they're talking to people and to residents a lot more, so we appreciate that.
We were very clear with what we expected.
All right. Anything else? Okay, anybody have any? Oh, city attorney.
Yeah, it came up earlier, but I did want to mention, I forget if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, but Lori and Ashley and I did meet to talk about the wildfire resiliency stuff, and Ashley's known that's coming, and it is coming. Florence is not alone. A lot of communities don't know and are asking a lot of questions, and the deadlines are fast approaching, and you hear rumors even of a potential legislation, but we are ready to tackle it when and if we're required to, and we're making the steps to go down that road. But it is going to be a significant change, and the map hits Florence pretty squarely. So
Is that the same study they're gonna use for insurance rates?
I don't actually know.
I've seen the map for that.
All right. Any other reports out there? Any need for executive session? Hearing none, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we are adjourned at 7:22. Thank you, everyone.